Hey, what's up guys? So it's time for the review of Huawei Band 6 and I've been actually using this band for over a week now, and I started reviewing this band with very little expectations, but I've been proven wrong on so many frontiers by this band. I've been thoroughly impressed over a period of this 1 week or 10 days that I've been using this band, and I have enjoyed using this band a lot. Now if you follow me on Twitter, you would already know a few updates about this band that I've shared there, but if you haven't, that's alright, I'll share my insights in this review. So let's get started. Now I have to admit here that I started off reviewing this band with very little expectations, but I was curious about it because it had this big white display and I wanted to see how it feels, because it kind of blurs the boundary between a smartwatch and a fitness tracker with this kind of a display. So the first thing that I'm going to talk about here is obviously this display. It is a 1.47 inch full view AMOLED display, which is 148% larger than the previous model. It has a 64% screen to body ratio, 194 by 368 screen resolution, and all of that results into a pixel density of 282 ppi, making it very crisp. The information is much more clear and easy to read on this band. It is much more easy and convenient to look at time here, to look at information here, to look at your stats on this band, to control your music, to look at the weather. Everything is much more convenient because of this wider screen size. And if you look at the general theme here, you can see that the main information is in bigger fonts here, whether it's time, whether it's your heart rate, whether it's your music controls, weather. The main information is right at the top or in the middle with bigger typography, so you can easily read it. So there is a general theme that they follow here. So if you swipe down, you can see that our quick settings are very easily and conveniently laid out. Big buttons, you can tap them very easily rather than fidgeting around with smaller icons. We have got these big buttons. If you go in your app list, we've got these big clear icons. So in my opinion, the crown jewel of this band is its display. It's AMOLED, it's very clear, it's very bright, and it's big. The information is easy to read, and that's a major win for Huawei Band 6. When it comes to notifications, you can simply scroll up and go in your notifications and read the main information here. Very easy to read once again because of this bigger display. Now since I'm talking about the display of this band, the next thing that I really like about this band are the watch faces of Huawei Band 6, which are just amazing. They're one of the best watch faces that I've seen on any fitness tracker, with a lot of information crammed into one watch face and very clearly and easily laid out. You can download and keep almost 14 or 15 watch faces on this band itself and very quickly swap between them. So if you long press on the band, you can see that I've got a lot of watch faces downloaded on the band itself. So unlike Mi Band 6, where you can only keep 3 watch faces other than the 3 default ones. So let's go and take a tour of the watch faces on the app itself now. Go in Huawei Band 6 and then go in watch faces, and here for some reason I've been unable to download these watch faces, the ones that are paid, but you can easily download free ones. So if you go in free ones, you can see that there's a huge library of free watch faces as well, and you can just go on and download any one of them, and they're all very beautiful, very colorful, very information rich, and one of the best and beautiful looking watch faces that I've seen. Now you cannot customize all of these watch faces, but there are a couple of watch faces that you can customize with very little information though. So if you see this sign here, that means you can customize this watch face. So if you tap on this button, you can then tap on this button here, heart rate one, and then you can change whatever information you want to see here. If you want to see your steps here, they will show up here, and then you can swipe from the left and that will be the default one. Next thing that I want to talk about this band is its software, which is very logically laid out, very easy to learn, and has a very small learning curve. So if you swipe down, you go to your quick settings, we've got do not disturb. We have got this really cool feature here. So if you tap on this button, your screen will stay on for 5 minutes, and you can increase this to 10 minutes and 15 minutes as well, I think. And then you have your find my phone feature here. You can go in your alarms and you can add more alarms from the band itself, which is again convenient. And then finally we have a button for settings here as well. So you can go in your display, you can go and edit your watch faces, you can go to your favorites, you can change your brightness and go in advanced, and here you can change the screen on time for that button. from 5, 10, 15 to even 20 minutes. If you swipe up, you go to your notifications. To go back from anywhere, all you have to do is swipe to the right from the display and it will take you one step back. So there you go. Now you can easily access your apps by pressing this button here. So here we have workout records, heart rate, SpO2 sensor, activity records, sleep tracking, stress, and then breathing exercises, music controls, notifications, weather, stopwatch, timer, alarm, torch. Then we have find phone feature, and finally settings. In settings you can go in display settings, which we have gone through earlier as well. Then we also have vibration controls, where you can change your vibration for the band, which is strong, soft, and none. Next we have do not disturb mode. So you can turn on all day do not disturb, or you can schedule it as well. And workout settings, so you can go in here and turn on auto detect workouts as well. Now you can also change the sequence of these widgets, and for that you can go in settings, go in display, and here go in favorites. So here you will see all these widgets. Now it's a similar story when you go into the Huawei Health app. We have got our steps and minutes of activities. Right at the top, it's a card based UI. We've got our exercise records, heart rate, weight, sleep tracking, stress management, SpO2 tracking here. And then if you're a female, you can also have cycle tracking here as well. Then we have exercise tab here, devices, and from here you can go in your Huawei Band 6. You can look at your battery status. Then you've got your steps, calories burned, and distance cover as well. You've got your watch faces, and then we have health monitoring, help, alarm, troubleshooting, weather reports. You can control your notifications for every app separately from here as well. And then you can also go in device settings, where you can turn on music playback controls, Bluetooth disconnection reminders, and raise to wake. You can also factory reset your device if you are connecting to a new phone. And finally, you can check for firmware updates. Next up, another thing that stands out about this watch is that it is a very good fitness tracker. So if you go in your apps and just swipe up, and at the top you will see your workouts, and here it can actually track up to 96 activities on this band. So you can even customize them and have them added, change their order as well, and you can track and add even more from here. So in total it tracks 96 activities. Then we have heart rate tracking here as well, which you can also do all day heart rate tracking. We have SpO2 tracking as well, which also helps in your sleep tracking, where it analyzes your breathing patterns. We've got activity records, so we've got this rings interface here that translates into calories, distance, and steps. We've got sleep tracking, as I've already told you, stress tracking, breathing exercises. Now if I go in Huawei Health app on my phone, we can go through a lot of other features as well when it comes to health tracking. So if I go in devices, go in Huawei Band 6, and here you can go in health monitoring. So the first one here is Huawei True Sleep feature, and you have to enable it, and once you enable it, it will give you a lot of information about your sleep and your sleep tracking, and it will also tell you about your breathing pattern while you're asleep with the help of SpO2 sensor. Now here you can read that it can analyze your sleep patterns and accurately diagnose 6 types of sleeping problems, but I must warn you here that for these kind of diagnoses you must always consult your doctor and take the readings of this band and this Huawei Health app as a reference only. But nevertheless, it is a very good and crucial information that you can acquire when it comes to your sleep. Then we have activity reminder that you can turn on, and it will remind you to move around if you've been sitting for over an hour. Then we have continuous heart rate monitoring here, you can turn it on. And then we have alerts for high heart rate, so you can enable this and you can select the heart rate value. We have low heart rate alerts as well, so if your heart rate goes below 40, 45, 50, you can select the value. It will alert you in that case as well. Now you can go into more details of your heart rate tracking. If you have turned on continuous heart rate, you can see your heart rate values throughout the day and while you were asleep. You can go in your sleep tracking and go in detail and understand your sleep patterns, your deep sleep, light sleep, REM sleep, deep sleep continuity. This is a lot of information, and the most that I've seen any fitness tracker come out with. I'm not so sure about all of these values, but it does track sleeping time and wake up time very accurately. And finally, the last thing that I want to talk about here is the battery life of this band, which is just amazing. So Huawei claims 2 weeks of battery life, and I initially thought that when you turn on all of these health features for continuous monitoring, like continuous heart rate monitoring and continuous stress monitoring, that will affect the battery a lot and it will shrink down to just 3 or 4 days, which is what happens to Mi Band 6 as well. But to my surprise, the battery held up very well with all of these continuous health monitoring features turned on in the background, and me using this band a lot more because I was reviewing it. I was using it a lot more. I was playing around with it, tinkering with its settings all the time. It lasted for 8 to 9 days, which is more than a week, and I did not feel the need to charge it or ever had to worry about this band. So the general trend that I noticed about its battery life was that it was using 10% of battery life for 24 hours of use. So that's day and night, because I was wearing it at night as well for it to track my sleep. So that translates into 9 or 10 days, and that's very true. Now before I finish this video, I want to mention few features that I think needs more improvement. For example, the band removing method is just absurd on this fitness tracker. So if you want to change the band or you want to remove the band, you have to pull this tab out. So you have to wrestle with it a little bit, and then this flap comes out. This flap comes out, and then you can simply push the band up and remove it, and then you can change the band. And it's the same thing over here on this side. Now this is the most cumbersome method to change a band that I've seen on any fitness tracker. And then you can simply push this back in place. And finally, I have noticed some problems in the Huawei Health app. So if I go in watch faces and I want to buy a new watch face, so let's say I want to buy this one, and I tap on this price tag, nothing happens. So it will not let me buy this watch face even via the Google Play Store. Now I don't know what's the problem here, and if I try to favorite it, this error shows up here, which is the same error that shows up when you tap on the quick reply option when you're getting a call. So there are a lot of features here that are just not implemented very well, or have these errors that show up regularly. For example, if I go in the cycle calendar for female menstrual cycle tracking, this message shows up once again, and I'm not sure what this is and why I should be installing it when I have the app installed, and frankly I don't even care. So these are the few issues that I have noticed with Huawei Band 6, and with that I would like to sign off from this video. I hope you've enjoyed this video. It was helpful for you in making your buying decision. If you have any questions, you can let me know in the comments, or you can also catch me up on Twitter and Instagram as well. I want to hear from you guys. What are the things that you like about this band? What are the things that you don't like, whether you will buy it or not? Let me know in the comments, and I will see you in the next one. Till then, take care. Bye-bye.